I mean, to me, boobs are at least more artistic. They're different. I just don't think two cheeks and a cracker, there's really anything that appealing about it, to be honest.
Well, not when you put it like that, Jill.
That was described very well, I will say.
That's going to be the title of the Upgroove podcast this week.
We're talking here. I'm Rob Rossi.
I'm Chris Pastor.
I'm Joe Leonard.
The sun is shining. It's cold, though. It's cold.
It is cooler.
It is cool. We come to you in the first week of May, and I thought I'd share this with you guys to start us off this week. So I was in the Clark building where we tape, part of the 535 Media, worldwide multiple headquarters. And I was in the Clark building yesterday, and I was coming down from somewhere. I think I might have been coming down from the third floor, and somebody got into the elevator with me. It stopped at the second floor, and they were wearing gloves, like mittens. And I said to the woman, I said, yeah, it is chilly out. And she goes, everybody's making fun of me for wearing mittens, but, it's cold, and I'm keeping these mittens until I have to know that they're not going away. And I said, just keep the mittens in your car all year around here.
Now let me ask you, were they mittens?
They were mittens.
They had the fingerless.
They were mittens that. All right, so they were.
I don't see people wearing enough mittens.
These looked like they were
because they're pointless.
They're not pointless.
They're not pointless.
Mittens are actually keep you much warmer.
Yes, because your fingers
can move.
Your bodily heat keeps each other warm, and it's a
Her
better
mittens
situation.
they were like a cream color. They looked like they were like the old sewn mittens,
Oh.
but they had a flap.
Oh, see.
So you could. They were mitten, but then you could fold the flap over and still use your fingers if you needed to, enter in a keypad or something.
Well, the flap makes it Jill approved, I guess.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's like having T-Rex arms wearing a pair of mittens.
But there's something quaint about mittens, It's old style. I love the idea of mittens.
I think people,
I don't wear them,
yeah.
but I love the idea of them.
I have a pair of mittens that I'll wear when it's really, really cold, and I have a pair of thin gloves that I'll wear when it's just normal cold, because my view is like sometimes the heavier gloves, they cut off the circulation. So if you wear like the thin, because they make the technology now.
Yeah.
The beauty now is you don't have to wear a lot of the clothing. Like Jill, remember when she went through that stretch where she was wearing that like thin parka material?
Yep. Jill never wears a coat. It can be freaking snowing outside,
but
blizzard conditions. She'll just
she
go
has
out.
that vest.
Yeah, the puffer
vest, and that vest isn't like it's not like a super huge looking vest, but it keeps you warm, right?
Yeah,
because
I love the puffer
they have
vest.
the new material now that like it doesn't need to be heavy. When I was
traveling,
traveling,
it still exposes your arms, and don't your arms get cold?
In May, I think you should be able to expose your arms.
Yes, but I'm talking like she's wearing that thing in January.
Yeah. I don't know.
I hate coats. They're just bulky, and I get hot, and I get cranky.
I will back her this. When I traveled...
You get cranky. Oh.
When I traveled, I almost never traveled with a coat. Like, I would bring, I would go to the airport with a heavy sweater, and, like, if I knew I was going to Montreal, I'd bring one, but it's a pain.
It is. That's the one thing I love about summer times. You don't have to worry about coats or anything like that. Yeah. You don't have to worry about warming your car up, all of that stuff. You just get in and go. I love it.
There's nothing worse than going to the mall in the wintertime and having a hat, mittens, gloves, a hat and gloves, and a coat, and walking around.
That's why I carry my man purse, so I can put all my stuff in it.
Yeah, but you can't, even in your man purse, you can't jam a coat in there.
No, but I've have a vest that I wear. It's sort of like a mid-level vest, like it's more like a casual one. But I'll say this, it might get your arms cold, but it's a lot more comfortable in the car too.
You know what? Going back to your man purse, my wife makes fun of me because I have a bag.
Yeah.
I call it a bag. It's a computer bag. She calls it a man purse. I don't understand.
I am all in on, like, if I can find an endorsement deal for my man purses, they can design one for me. I am totally committed to the man purse.
I love it. I mean, you carry everything around with you. It's fantastic.
Men aren't allowed accessories? What? We're not allowed accessories?
And I think it's great. And I'd love to see the whole doing away with the whole purse, sexual, it's only women carry purses. Because I love it. I don't like crap in my pockets all the time.
It's
love
a pain
it.
in the ass.
It's wonderful.
Well, you know why I started wearing it? Because, like, a lot of the style went towards I guess, non-pleated pants where there's like tighter pants. Even if you bought jeans, they were like tighter. They were like making all these styles different. And so like I buy jeans once every like 8 years, right? Like I mean, I buy a bunch of jeans at once. Like, I'll force myself to fit into these jeans. It doesn't matter, right?
I'm just imagining Rob in a pair of pleated jeans.
Yeah. But so when I went to buy jeans a couple years ago, I was like, oh, geez, all these jeans are like, they're like, even the normal non-skinny ones or skinny ones, I'm not carrying a. Like, it's going to be like, is that a wallet in your pocket, or are you just happy to see everybody? So
I think you can still find. I still find jeans that work for me. Although they're probably now. I'm sure I'm wearing the old man
dad
jeans.
You're
the
wearing
dad jeans.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn,
I look forward to dad jeans. But see, my problem was I am a front pocket person.
Yes, I'm with
I
you.
never trusted the back pocket. So when I sit. I think it's different if you're a guy because, like, when you sit, that wallet is there,
right?
But it takes up a lot of space. And as I got older, I was like, well, now I'm wearing glasses, so I need my glasses case. I need the thing to clean my glasses because there's nothing worse than it was like I need a bag,
right?
I need a bag. Like, and if it makes me sound like I need a purse, so be it. I need a purse. You know, John Adams carried a sack. Like a sack. The forefathers was good enough.
Absolutely.
They were riding their horses with like
satchels. They called them satchels.
Yes.
And they were made of leather.
Now, what I like is I'd like to have a purse that's a little bit designed well now with some bedazzles.
Some little florals.
Oh, I can do that. I can bedazzle it. I can bedazzle your man bag.
She can bedazzle the shit out of it.
You know, when I started riding a bicycle. I told you guys this the other day, I think. I'm trying to learn to ride a bike. I thought I knew how.
Yeah, this doesn't make much sense to me. Apparently, his mom told him he didn't know how to ride a bike.
Yeah.
He didn't remember that he didn't know how to ride a bike.
Well, it's an easy thing to think. If you haven't done it for a while, you just assumed you learned to ride a bike.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't
think
that's
either.
a thing you forget that you know how to do.
Right.
Like swimming. Do I know how to swim? You
I
either
think
know
that's,
or you
I
don't.
think that's different because I haven't thought to ride a bike in years. So I'm like, I obviously know how to ride a bike. There's a reason I probably haven't done it for a long time. Oh, right. You don't like people. You don't like the outdoors, but you're trying to, I'm trying to have better mental health. I'm trying to have better lifestyle living. So like I'll buy a bike. There was a bike sale. I'll just start riding a bike again. People always tell me it's a great release. And I get on the bike. I'm like, I don't know how to ride a bike. And my mom's like, why would you ride a bike? You never knew how to ride a bike.
Okay, but I'm going to stop you there because when you went to buy the bike, now did you buy the bike online?
No, I bought it at the thing.
So
at the thing.
At the store. At the
store. Thing. That thing.
The bike, the sporting goods
thing.
stores, yeah.
But when you went to buy the bike, did you not get on the
I
bike?
did.
Okay.
I did get on the bike, and I said, I'm having trouble balancing it. And he goes, he said, it's easier when you're riding it, which is fair.
Okay.
And I did not, because I was in a department store, I did not take it for a lap. I just felt like, I took it for like one spin of each wheel, and it was a little wobbly, but I attributed that to I haven't ridden a bike in a while, so it is a little weird when you get back on. Also, the seat was...
Well, apparently you haven't ridden a bike
ever,
all.
And so I think my bike riding the other day was damn fine for never riding a bike, allegedly.
Where do you ride a bike? Because I want to drop by and clothesline you.
I rode on... South Park, out in South Park, Corrigan Drive, and I got mad because there were people walking their dog. This nice young couple walking their dog, but they were walking their dog in the bike lane the wrong way.
Well, that's their fault.
Right, but I was yelling at them, and I think they thought I was yelling at them as I would normally yell at people, as I often do, like, "You sons of..." But it was more like, "Please move, I'm going to kill you! Stop, get out of the way!"
Now, were these old people?
No, these were younger people, and then their dog just stopped.
Fucking millennials.
Their dog just stopped. Like the dog, it was a hot day Sunday. It was like 80-some degrees.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So their dog was like, just stopped. And now they're just looking, and you've got this wobbly bike guy, and I'm like, well, if I look to avoid them to go a little bit into the road, but I have to look for a car, which means I'm going to kind of drift to the right anyway, because that was happening to me all day. I'm like, this is going to end with, like, you guys writing a story on Upgroove, like, Rossi dead.
Took two other people
took
and a
out
dog
two people and a dog. And then, of course, that would have made Barry Trotz happy, but
yeah.
I was going to say, I like how you just morphed into Evgeny Malkin there for a second.
No dog dead, bad. So...
We're bringing you the Upgroove podcast from West Penn Hospital.
Yeah. We're talking here. Rob's not. He's on life support. How do you think about that, Rob?
No comment.
That's right. Rob, you're really not contributing here.
Show's a lot better with Rob not able to speak. May the 4th be with you, Rob. Anyway, I am the aforementioned Rob Rossi.
I'm Chris Pastrick.
I'm Jill Leonard.
And this is the We're Talking Here podcast with Upgroove. All right, guys, I got to ask you this. And this is a touchy subject with me, which is a terrible choice of words now that I think about it. I don't need to see people's butts.
Oh.
And I don't need to see them online with pictures. I don't need to see them
the Instagram
outside.
account, was it Cheeky Encounters or Cheeky something, Cheeky Escapades or something?
Cheeky Escapades, I think it was.
And it's these people taking these ass shots and putting them on this Instagram account. Now, the woman, she's from London. She's a 31-year-old woman from London. And she's kind of gatekeeping this. So I guess you send them to her, and she'll put them on it. Whether she's
How do you get that idea? All right, I'm going to ask people for the shots of their butts.
Well, she was following this guy. Yeah. Apparently, he was doing butt shots all over the world, and she was following his account. So she got this idea to do this thing where friends of hers would send them their asses, and then started snowballing. And one after another, people were sending her ass shots. Now, they have to be tasteful, she says. They can't be too
Who
close.
decides what a tasteful ass
She does. She decides.
But see, asses are not attractive. I don't care whose ass it is. No ass is attractive.
I disagree with that.
A bare ass?
That. Yeah, I disagree with that.
I think most guys
that
are
could be definitely nice.
I'm a girl, obviously.
Really?
And I would rather see boobs than butts. I mean, I would rather look at boobs than butts. Like, at least boobs can be different.
I think it depends. Well, asses can be different, too.
I guess. I mean, I know what you're saying.
Debating
this. Go ahead.
But go ahead.
I mean, to me, boobs are at least more artistic. They're different.
Can I offer myself as the person who's the arbiter of the tasteful boob around the world? just
go ahead.
Nobody?
Yeah.
Nobody? So here's the thing: we are too comfortable with asses in this culture now. With the way they're designing pants now.
Yes.
We've had stuff on that. Like we need to dial it back on the ass showing. Like it will be a better country when we, because here's the thing.
I'm okay with the ass showing. It depends.
You want to wear a bikini with a thong? That's fine. When you're wearing pants, make sure your pants cover your butt. That's generally my view.
Well, I think, again, it depends. I mean, if it's an ass you want to look at, I'm okay with it.
I'm willing to risk not seeing the ass than seeing the ass I want to look at.
Well, I see what you're saying. You don't want to risk seeing the one you don't want to look at. And I know you have seen those instances where you've got the refrigerator repairman or the cable man who's like, I didn't need to see that.
And here's the other thing. I don't want a world where, like, I go to sit down to eat somewhere and I'm thinking, maybe somebody had their bare ass because that's just asses around the world.
Yeah, but if you go to Sandcastle and you sit on any one of those benches,
I know that going in.
Damn well.
I know that going in, so that's why I don't go to Sandcastle.
You just don't sit.
Well, or I make the decision, like, I'm going to, like, a pool. I think it's probably going to have been an ass somewhere.
Absolutely.
I don't think that when I'm going to... Well, maybe I think that when I'm going to Arby's, but other places.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
you don't expect.
Like I don't come to work going, I got to pull up this chair, have a conversation with you. Was anybody's ass hanging out here today? I'm uncomfortable with it.
I can tell.
I'm glad it hasn't come into my sports world. I see enough nakedness. I don't need the nakedness when you're wearing clothes. That's all I'm saying.
But I will go back to Jill's point. I'm okay also with seeing boobs. So maybe we need to have an Instagram account on boob encounters or.
I just think
I'm pretty sure there is one.
I just think there's more of a chance that the boobs are artistic or different. I just don't think there's anything attractive.
I love the way Jill's describing, the artistic.
Yeah, I just don't think two cheeks and a cracker. There's really anything that appealing about it, to be honest.
Well, not when you put it like that, Jill.
That was described very well, I will say.
That's going to be the title of the Upgroove podcast this week.
That's right. 2 cheeks and a crack.
2 cheeks and a crack.
Hey, there's 3 of us. Anyway, not saying which one is the crack.
I guess I'd have to be the crack.
That's Jill Leonard. I'm Rob Rossi.
I'm Chris Pastrick.
And this is We're Talking Here, the Upgroove podcast, 2 Cheeks and a Crack episode. Wow, I'll tell you what, that dovetails nicely into the, much as I don't need to see this many asses, I don't foresee in my life me having 1,000 beers between now and the end of it.
Oh my God, did you see how many beers were in that
You
thing?
guys are... No,
Jill, you did that, right?
I did.
I joke about this. You guys like adult beverages.
Absolutely.
I'm not.
Yeah, no shame in that.
Nothing. I'm not a heavy consumer. Like I could probably with Coca-Cola, do a disgraceful amount of drinking, but I'm not. 1,000 of anything seems like a lot.
I agree.
Like, how do you manage to consume all that?
Well, who was the beer? What was the beer?
It was I'm going to have to look it up. It was Kasari, I think it was.
Yeah,
I might be butchering the name.
So is
Which
it
we
not
didn't even know there
American?
It's in Finland.
Okay, it's Finland.
We didn't even know there were 1,000 cans of it, let alone
Right.
So yeah, it's a 1,000 can case pack, however you want to say it, of
country.
Yeah.
Like, this is our country pack.
I'll get the right name for you, but
How much is it?
it's $2,300 for 1,000 cans. So
is that a good deal? I mean,
well, it's a little over $2 a can.
That seems
Not
like a good
too
deal.
bad.
But how do you get it?
You go to Finland.
So,
But, I mean,
but
how do you get it?
How do you get it in your car?
I don't know.
Okay.
I guess there were
So nobody
have to be
thought
people.
that one through.
Where do you store it?
There are people on site that'll apparently help you move it.
No,
You got your cellar fridge,
yeah.
Beer fridge.
What's that?
Right.
Well, that one's for the bodies, and that one's for the beer.
That's just a lot of anything. I mean, and again, so much. But I feel like it's in this country they're doing the portion sizes.
Apparently
are
just in Finland, too.
Getting huge.
Okay,
What's up with that
when does
crap?
beer go bad? How long does before beer goes bad?
I don't actually
That's a
know.
good question. I don't know.
It's never around me long enough.
Right, I know. We
Yeah,
don't
but
ever
beer
have that
does
problem.
skunk, right? Like, you can't keep
I'm
it for
sure
more
it
than-
does just the same way anything
Like,
does.
how would it...
over
Let's
time.
just say you and... I mean, if the two of you and 98 people had a party, you'd still need to drink 10 beers a person.
Okay, that could happen.
That could
Yeah,
happen,
right.
but that's what you're talking about. Like,
But I think this is obviously for a massive party. I mean, you buy that for a graduation party. There's going to be 300 people at your party. Okay, you could probably... But again, you're going to have 300 adults because you can't have kids in there. So now...
I mean, I think...
Although maybe they can drink.
I think 50 high schoolers could probably down 1,000 cans of beer pretty quickly.
They probably could.
But at least the high schoolers I went to, or I went with. But I'll just say, you're right, Chris. We have too much of everything now. Like, I don't need all of this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm to the point where, like, I go out to eat, and the appetizer... I can't get because it's a meal. Like, they're like, what comes with the appetizer? Well, that's 2 rolls of sushi, and it's 3 different kinds of meat. Like, that's dinner.
Yeah. Well, and more, my friends and I, we order appetizers as our meal.
Right.
Yeah.
And we actually end up saving a bit of money.
And they're usually better. I like
usually
appetizers better.
But everything's big now. I remember when you could order, like, salads that were, like, side salads. Like, that's very much going out the window now. Like, every salad's anymore almost like a meal salad if you go to a restaurant, which is like sometimes...
Yeah, because the side salad used to be a little tiny plate, little dish. With a
supposed to be so that you could get something into you, a little bit healthier. By the way, cakes up a little more of your room, so maybe you don't rush your meal, start your metabolism. Now it's like, nope, salad, everything. Like, those are hard to eat, by the way.
Well, especially like if you go to someplace like Olive Garden,
Yeah.
they just keep it coming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
More salad.
Yeah, well, you want to go to Olive Garden. What are you getting? I'm going to get salad and breadsticks. Anything
to
else?
mention-
No, just salad and breadsticks.
Not to mention they offer you cheese on everything.
Yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
your
Did you know
Coke.
there's-
Would you like some cheese with it?
Yeah, did you know there's cheese in the dressing?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
I did
absolutely.
not know that because I've been trying not to do cheese and dairy.
But then they tell you do you want cheese on top of that?
And I
Yes.
don't like that type of cheese. It's like my family looks at me like, you're nuts. How can you be Italian? They're like, because I do like to taste some things without cheese. First of all, I'm not a giant cheese person to begin with, but it's like, my goodness, like, does everything have to have cheese? Like,
It's like literally cheese on top of cheese on top of cheese at the Olive Garden.
Although I will tell you, my son orders the mac and cheese, and yes, he gets cheese on his mac and cheese.
I feel like at that point, why not? Right?
I agree.
I also feel
Go for it.
I also feel like though mac and cheese, like the way it's prepared, you can get cheese on top of it. It's like I'm not recommending it.
Yeah,
I mean, if
wouldn't.
you want a bowel
It could
movement,
be as
within
long
the
as
next
it's a
week.
different kind of cheese.
Yeah,
I think.
you should probably give them some fiber at some point. But I don't know. I don't need the.
Well, everything's about presentation. It's about presentation. Well, look at Starbucks.
Right.
Speaking of presentation,
Oh, don't. I don't like Starbucks to begin with, so I should clarify.
I feel like everything on the Starbucks menu is only geared for Instagram
Yes.
photos.
Yes.
Yes.
I would
That's what
agree
it
with
is.
that.
So
because if you drink
it's
their
not-
coffee, you would never go there.
well, the coffee's not. I've tasted worse coffee.
Yes. Yeah.
but
But
are.
it's not gourmet.
It's not. It's yes. If you like coffee, just regular coffee,
Right.
there are other places to go.
Yes.
If you
Well,
like
what is-
rainbows puking in a glass,
Yeah. What is that?
The latest was this. First we had the unicorn frappuccino, and then it looks exactly nearly the same. Now it's the mermaid frappuccino that a barista came up with.
Now,
It's not officially on the menu, but apparently you can go to a number of
order it.
Starbucks and order it.
Now, how do you know which Starbucks has that? You just have to. It's a luck of the draw.
I guess, yeah.
What if, like,
But
if they
I think the recipe, from what I understand,
what's
the
the
recipe is
difference?
spreading.
What's the difference between
a
the unicorn
mermaid and a
the
unicorn?
No, I don't want to get into
Unicorn doesn't exist, and neither does a mermaid.
that. Okay.
It's something about a horn, right?
But what does a unicorn...
They're like Santa Claus, Chris. They don't actually...
But this whole unicorn thing, like, what does a unicorn taste like? Why do we need to have that in my Frappuccino?
I don't know. I mean, what was in that? That was like, it was very colorful, right?
Oh, it was very colorful. And again, it makes a great Instagram pic on my feed.
I'm assuming it tasted like sugar.
Outside of that, yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing the thing with from what I understand about the unicorn is that it starts off sweet and it kind of goes to sour, which I don't understand how that...
Is that supposed to be what a unicorn does?
Apparently. I mean, unicorns look sweet, but maybe with a horn they get sour.
Do you remember the unicorn in She-Ra that became like a battle, or was that a tie? She-Ra was He-Man's sister, and I think their horse became a unicorn or something. Like, remember the cat became a tiger? No. I think the horse became a unicorn.
I didn't watch
Nothing
He-Man.
became a mermaid. They're making a new He-Man.
Are they live action?
I think it's supposed to be a reimagined He-Man.
Well, didn't they make a He-Man
They
movie?
did. It was one of the worst movies.
Was that Dolph Lundgren?
Yes,
or
it was bad. It was bad. But here's my thing with the unicorn and the mermaid. If you're going to present it to me on a unicorn or via a mermaid, I'm cool with this. Otherwise, just make me my coffee.
Right.
Just give me coffee.
Right.
Give me a couple packets of sweetener. I'll pour it in. I'm good. I'm good to go.
Yeah.
I get actually stressed out. That's one of the reasons I don't often go to Starbucks. I get stressed out when I go there because I forget what vente and grande and whatever that other word is.
Oh,
and
it's judgmental too. Like
it
the people
really
there
is.
are like beyond snobbish. Like
Well, I just order a medium, large, small.
Yeah.
Screw your.
I would do that
venti,
on principle.
blah, blah, blah.
Like vente, no, large.
Right.
And it's like there's so many, whipped or soy or non-fat, and I'm just like, give me coffee with low-fat cream and some sugar.
Well, and it's geared to be exclusionary. It's
Sure,
geared to be,
sure.
oh, we're so upper echelon.
It's status, right?
Right.
I mean, it's
exactly what it is.
It's you can
It's
go
coffee,
there.
guys.
Yeah, it's
Let's not rethink.
You know what coffee I drank this morning? I literally drank Aldi coffee out of my Keurig with expired cream that I had in my fridge that I gave the sniff test. That's why I don't need Starbucks.
Well, I love Aldi.
Yeah, me
So,
too.
That's a win.
I have no problem with Aldi coffee. The expired cream thing.
Yeah, that part doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, my fiance often says, like, I, must have an iron stomach because I just, something's expired. I just smell it. If it doesn't smell rancid, I use it. I don't really care. I mean, I wish you could see Rob's face right now.
Just smell it. What the heck?
mean,
if it smells okay, I'm good.
I mean, it's like 2 weeks out of date. I smelled it. It was fine. I drank it. I'm
2
fine.
weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 weeks out of date.
Now, 2 weeks, that's 2 weeks
By
from the store
sell-by date.
Right, so it's still good.
Well, marginally, probably.
Technically.
I mean, it didn't smell bad. I'm here. I didn't get
That's
sick.
14 days
Yes.
out of the sell-by.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I will say that's out of my comfort zone. I go a week, okay. Beyond that, I'm a
Are
little
you
bit
like that
nervous.
with milk? I haven't had milk in
Oh, yeah.
months.
Yeah, I drink milk sometimes 3 weeks after.
Jeez.
Oh, my
God,
goodness.
that's horrible.
Well, I mean, I think it's fine. I mean, you can smell when milk is bad.
you
Can you?
No, you can.
I'm starting to wonder if you can based off the fact that you're drinking it 3 weeks out.
You can if it doesn't. I mean, you can tell when
You
it's
can
starting to
smell
turn.
when milk is bad. I agree. And when you pour it and it's clumpy.
Yeah, right.
Then you're
Yes,
totally-
if it's a brick. And
right. That's not.
I just picture like The Naked Gun, which you've probably not seen.
No.
But The Naked Gun, where Leslie Nielsen, the original one, where he goes home to eat and he opens his refrigerator and he's got like this, like, you want some Chinese? And he asks her when, and she's like, they closed 3 years ago. And he just passes out. He's pouring the clumps of milk into the drink.
It's funny. Well, my fiance and I will go out for dinner on a Saturday night and say I'll get, I don't know, chicken. On a Thursday night, he'll say, oh, like, what did you have for dinner tonight? If I don't happen to see him, I'll say, oh, I had the chicken. And he's like, well, that's like 5 days old. I'm like, so?
That I agree with. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I can extend it for like a week.
Yes.
Now, once a week is over,
Right.
I throw those away.
Yeah, when there
Right,
starts
right.
to be like a film,
Yeah.
that's when you know.
But I think that stuff's good. Chinese is good for a long time. I mean, Chinese can last.
Yeah, I just feel like I always eat Chinese quickly because like I'm hungry by the time I get it home.
Oh
Like,
my God.
yeah, there's just no way. So
Yeah.
but I don't have any time for this Starbucks stuff. Like
I agree with
just,
you.
These and the supersizing of everything. Like I just
Well, I'm also. You know what I don't have time for is that fork.
Yes.
I can't even say it properly.
Yeah, so I admit, I thought this was like a goof. I thought you guys had posted something like a belated April Fool's Day thing.
No,
this is real.
We're not fake news over here.
No, but I thought you were having fun with me. Like, oh, this wasn't like... Because I looked at it, and just the design itself, it looks like, oh, we put this together 5 minutes ago.
Well, and you know what it is? It's McDonald's having fun with itself, because it's obviously...
They shouldn't do that in public. They've been in trouble before.
Yeah. Well, they are putting out this fork, and it's apparently this red thing that you can stick 3 fries in to scoop up the stuff that drops out of your sandwich. So, I mean, they're making fun of it, but at the same time, like, do we need a fork?
You know the other way to scoop stuff up that drops out of your sandwich? Just
What's that?
Pick it up and
Your
put it in your
fingers.
mouth.
This is what I say. My fingers work.
Yes.
No, nothing wrong with that.
That's what I've heard.
Now, the idea of the...
What the hell does that mean? Wow, holy crap.
I was just going to say the idea of the fork in a Frosty would be interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. We're talking here, and I'm Rob Rossi.
I'm Chris Pastrick.
And
I got nothing.
that's
I'm
Jill Leonard, and she's going to places she hasn't gone before. Wow. So, okay, can I ask you guys, what is this? Do you feel? I feel, and maybe I may be in the minority here. I really feel like for all the advancements we've made as a city in Pittsburgh here, we do not have the best relationship with Uber, and I can't figure out why that is. We seem to not...
Now, why do you say that?
I don't hear a lot of people talking about taking Ubers. I hear a lot of people, even when they do refer to it as Lyft. I just also think we don't leave our little areas as much.
Well, that may be true.
But I always read about like Uber in Pittsburgh not getting along. It's like there's some kind of
think to me, the rift is between the mayor and Uber, because he says Uber's not being a good citizen in Pittsburgh. But aside from that rift between Mayor Peduto and Uber, I mean, as far as my friends and among my friends, I mean, we embrace Uber, we take it. I haven't noticed a decline in people wanting to take it, at least in my circle.
Yeah, I agree. My friends, from what I've heard, they take Uber. I have heard Lyft, but not as much.
Maybe I'm just hearing Lyft more. Maybe your
friends just do Lyft.
I just feel like Pittsburgh's a big driving town. People drive a lot of places.
I absolutely agree.
You know,
but I think that's what makes Uber the perfect fit for Pittsburgh.
I would think so.
And a good clientele for this city is...
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
So
I'm still a little scared every time I order an Uber, though. Like,
I think the whole thing is very frightening. I mean, you're strangers picking you up.
I think I told you, did I not?
And more often than not, when they pick you up, you're kind of inebriated. So
right,
that's true.
When I was in Orlando, I wasn't inebriated, but I got a guy who I thought was, because he told me he had died 3 times in his life.
That's fun.
Scary.
And I responded, well, dude, even Jesus only tried it once. And then he told me he didn't really believe in religion, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be good.
See, my response would be, oh wait, this is my stop right here.
Yes. So this highway, this is awesome. This is exactly where I wanted to go.
In this shady neighborhood with fire whistles and
I'll be much more safe here.
That's right.
Soups, yeah, me and him. The end of Richard Pryor at the end of Superman 3. Like, yeah, I think I'll walk. Yeah, I think I'll walk.
Oh, don't get me started on Superman 3.
Really?
What a horrible movie that
Terrible
was.
movie. Not as bad as Superman 4.
But I don't. Yeah, we'll move on.
I got nothing now.
Guardians of the Galaxy coming out, Chris.
Sure. I know. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I'm worried. I'm really worried it's not going to be good.
I've read a couple reviews. I've read one that it's not, and I've read one that it's very good.
I'm worried that Jill. You probably haven't seen this one. Did you see the original Pirates of the Caribbean, Jill?
No, we were just actually talking about that this weekend.
What are you talking about?
The fact that I've never seen any of them.
Oh.
Because I bring this up because...
You're not really missing too
the
much.
original one I really enjoyed because I had no idea. And then after that, it was like, with each one, I was like, these get worse and worse.
But they're the same movie.
But
over and over.
And that's what I'm hoping Guardians doesn't do, is like, because that was such a great first movie, and it was so different. Because I don't think of it even as a comic book movie. I just think of it as like a cool movie.
Yeah, see, the Avengers ones or those Marvel movies, I don't feel like they're the same movie. They're different adventures every time. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But the Pirates of the Caribbean, same film every time. I mean, even the one directed by Pittsburgh's Rob Marshall it was the same movie. Did you see where Johnny Depp went to Disney and
I
went
did
in
see
the
that.
Pirates
As
of the
the
Caribbean?
thing, yeah,
I thought that was a great idea.
He does that with
smart.
He does that with
With kids.
With kids, too. He dresses up.
He's actually a very good guy when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Unless you're married to him, Johnny Depp seems like a great dude.
Yes.
Married to him, he might beat the crap out of you, but
Yeah, he kind of seems like a doucher that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he deals with kids.
I don't know. I don't know the full story. So
I don't either. Speaking of cool stories, James Conner being drafted by the Steelers.
Man, I loved that story.
Yeah, how happy were you for him?
Oh my god!
Not from a football standpoint either.
I'm
just-
happy for Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought it was cool to see how everybody reacted to that Saturday. Like that was and by the way, if you're listening to this, go to upgroove.com. Jerry DePaula from our friends at the Trib.
Yeah.
Jerry DePaula covered the Steelers for a long time and now covers Pitt football, and he wrote a really compelling
good
piece about why James is going to be good, and how he talks about how James Conner met Mr. Rooney, the late Dan Rooney. So I was really happy Jerry did that for us. But I just felt like, and Joe, I'm a West Virginia grad. You went to Penn State. Chris, you're a Pitt fan.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I just felt like this was one of those ones where it didn't matter where you went to school, and we are the.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a cool thing to see how excited Pittsburgh. And I say this because so often with the Steelers, you realize their fan base is so big around the world that it's like almost we in Pittsburgh don't get them to ourselves as much as we would. Like the Penguins are kind of our team, right?
Yeah.
The Pirates are our team, but the Steelers.
Nobody else
Well,
wants
right,
them.
yeah.
Hey,
But the
hey, hey.
Steelers, like, there's. Steelers bars everywhere, right?
Absolutely.
But this was one of those ones where, like, and I'll admit, I passed out Friday night. I woke up, Chris had posted the card. I'm like, thank you, I didn't miss this. But I was like, this is so cool, just seeing all these Pittsburghers excited for this. I just, like, for a guy that's been through everything he's been, that had to be really cool to see all that love.
Twitter's just can be a place of hate. So I'm assuming,
especially for me.
I'm assuming that someone somewhere was unhappy with the pick,
Right.
but I did not see that at all. I
Right.
saw nothing but praise. But it's such a great story, and heck, maybe the Steelers did it for PR.
Oh no, I think
it's a good
football
pick.
Yeah, I don't think they did it for PR. I think that's what makes it great. Like, you don't draft a guy in the third round because he's like, oh yeah, this will be good for PR. I mean,
Well, and
they
they don't-
drafted a
yeah.
long snapper in the sixth round because if they were drafted by PR, they clearly weren't worrying about it.
Yeah, I
well,
think
and
the
they don't
Steelers
need
are
it.
smarter than that to
Yeah.
draft somebody. Just
How great is it going to be
feeling.
when James Conner scores his first touchdown at Heinz
Good
Field?
grief.
First of all, he'll get to score a touchdown at Heinz Field with people there, which will be really cool.
Some people will get
But,
to see
Yes.
him for the
Yes.
first time.
But no, it was just really cool. And somebody said, like, a friend of mine, I think, tweeted, whatever they find out what his number is, it's going to be the number one jersey in Pittsburgh, like more than
Absolutely.
Roethlisberger.
Well, that was the one comment on Twitter more than any other.
Yeah.
Was, I can't wait to get this guy's
So-
jersey.
And the Mike Tomlin calling him.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
that was
look,
pretty
Mike
cool.
Tomlin,
That
whatever
was
you think of him,
wonderful.
he plays up to the camera. So I honestly think this guy, when he's done coaching football, should bypass like being a commentator and go straight into acting, because he's got like good character actor traits. Like, he's clearly playing to the camera, looking at, now I got to get serious. We're not going to reimburse you. Ha ha ha. Now we got work to do, and you're going to help us win a world championship. It's like, my God, you're like Denzel over
Like
there.
he
Mike.
can hear the music that's
Yes.
playing under
Yes.
what he's
Yes,
saying.
he's Mike Tomlin, like that. Mike Tomlin's one of those guys who was like, you get the impression he could have done almost anything he wanted, because he's got that, like, even when he talks, you can tell, like, all right, this is when I'm going to do my get everybody angry. This is when I'm going to
Yep.
get everybody on me. Like, it's just good for James Conner.
Yeah, I had the chance to interview him a few months
Yeah.
ago at an event for cancer survivors, and he couldn't have been. He was so mature. He couldn't have just been any more in tune with the struggles. Obviously, they shared a similar struggle, and he was dealing with women who were most in their 50s and 60s, and he couldn't have related to them any better. And I was just so impressed with his poise and his compassion.
And you didn't want to like him. You're a Penn State person.
Yeah,
You
no.
were-
I went in there just thinking I'd hate him. And
Yeah, she was like,
by
I
the
don't
end,
want to talk to him.
now I want to buy his jersey.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same way. Like, I don't really like the school in Oakland, but I kind of like James Conner.
Yeah.
Well, and that's nice now. You don't have to worry about the school. You can just like the Steelers.
No, and I mean, I don't. I
know
actually,
what you're
I root for Pitt a lot because I actually enjoy college football and I want them to be good around here because it would be fun. But I think the coolest thing about James Conner, though, is I always love guys that have two first names when they have success because we know the person because we grew up, or like he's been here for 4 years, right?
Right.
But there's going to be people out there be like, wait a minute, is it
James or is it-
Conner, Connor James? I mean, like JC, like.
And both
Two-
names are pretty awesome. Connor
That's-
James is an awesome name,
Yeah,
too.
like Connor. Like, I mean, I think I might have even thought for a while he was Connor, but it's like, what a great two first names. It's not like Paul Miles. It's like, no, James Conner. Like, those are two American names, my friend.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But good for him. But yeah, which name do you get on? I guess you just go. I want a shirt that just says James Conner. Like, it's like a Peel jersey. Like, I could go by James or Connor. That's what I want. Sort of like remember those books, the patch books or whatever those, the Velcro books?
Oh, yeah.
I do remember the Velcro books. Those were kind of nice.
You know what
we
books
got
were
these old
awesome?
Noises.
Choose Your Own Adventure books.
They were. I
Those
bet
were
I know
the
how
best.
you did
So
it.
you go to a certain page to the
You chose to end the adventure poorly, didn't you?
Oh, I killed everybody.
Yeah.
I went down like the rocky cliff in the
Yeah.
rickety Jeep and tried to,
Jill
flip
cheated.
over.
She's like,
Just-
how can I get these people dead?
Yep.
Yeah, just like the Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail approach.
And thank you, by the way, Chris Pastrick, for sending that
I
image
found
of
the
us.
card game.
Yeah. Did you buy it?
I didn't.
You didn't buy
I
it.
should have.
What the
You
hell's the
should've.
matter with you? You should have.
Well, because you said you want to kill everybody. Who
Yeah.
wants to play the Oregon Trail with you?
Well, that's
Yeah.
what's on the box. You've died of dysentery. I mean, they know what they're doing. They know who they're selling
Yeah,
to.
to Jill, who
Yeah.
wants everybody
Exactly.
dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Chris has cholera and Rob has a broken ankle and we leave him behind.
Yep, murdering.
At least you're dying. I'm just there to be eaten with a broken ankle. I mean, I'm just like, it's the wolves, Chris.
Truly throwing you to the wolves.
Yes, literally. Jill's galloping along.
Independence, Missouri. Rob's broken ankle. Sorry.
What happened to Rob? It wasn't funny.
They're just slowing us down.
That bull got him, and damn, it was not good. I didn't know somebody had that much in them. That was bad. Lots of intestine there. There's a tree now. We go and say our piece. Anyway. We went from James Conner being the uplifting story to me dying of dysentery. So
No, broken ankle and being fed to wolves.
yeah, well, I might, as we're taping this, I might get fed to the Washington Capitals wolves. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Certainly got a lot of exposure on that.
Well, I realize now what I should have done is wear pants without a ass cover, and that would have been even better for the exposure.
Ass-
That would have been great.
Wow, and I thought that visual of you in pleated jeans was disturbing.
Now
it's
Jill's
you-
picturing your
Yeah, now I'm picturing you in assless chaps.
Well. Hey, it's sweeps month, so. Hey, by the way, if you're listening to the We're Talking Here podcast, I do want to say you go to upgroove.com. You're going to notice our site looks a little different.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you kind of scroll down now for the stories.
Right. I think they're easier to move through. The information is there.
Yeah.
If you want to read it, you know a little bit more about each story.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But let us. I mean, look, there's comments. So if you
let us know
let
what
us
you
know
think.
what you think.
Maybe you like the old style better.
Yeah,
But let us know.
If you do,
We'd
let
love
us
to hear
know. We
that.
promise we won't send Jill to give you some sort of a communicable disease to end it like the Oregon
Dysentery
Trail.
or
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
Can you go as dysentery for like Halloween? That'd
I
be
could.
awesome.
What was the other disease you would get in Oregon Trail? There was cholera, dysentery, and wasn't there one typhoid fever?
Fever. I was going to say
Fever.
fever of some
Typhoid
kind.
fever.
and
I always
couldn't
felt
remember.
like typhoid fever was the one I didn't want just because I knew how to spell it.
I felt like when you'd get typhoid fever, you'd immediately die like 2 steps later.
So this is the early month of May. I think next time we gather for the podcast, for the We're Talking Here, we should come prepared to talk about our prom dates.
I've already talked about mine.
He has.
Well, then we should come prepared, and you should tell that story again, because that's a
Okay.
great story.
All right.
And a terrible story, but a great story.
I would love to hear about your
Yes,
prom
my
experiences.
prom. Yes, that's what we'll do next time. We'll and if you have any prom date experiences out there, let us know. And
that would be good.
Maybe we'll have like a guest. We'll bring a guest up to bring them about their prom date too. We'll
There's
find
got to
somebody.
be somebody like a prom planner that has some
Yeah.
good stories.
Yeah, I was actually grabbing a stranger off the street.
Okay, that's fine.
Hey, sit down here. Tell us about your prom date. No, Rossi, game.
Just call an Uber and we'll have a stranger come
There
over.
we go.
Uber, bring us a prom date. Oh, that probably doesn't work.
Do they have proms in Russia?
I doubt it.
They don't need them. They can just watch ours. Hey, for all of your trending news, please, lots of cool stuff. Go to upgroove.com. Check us out on the mobile device. Until the next time, for We're Talking Here, I'm Rob Rossi.
I'm Chris Pastrick.
I'm Joe Leonard.
She likes boobs. We'll be back.
The Upgroove Podcast was recorded at Trib Total Media Studios in Pittsburgh.